Down to Bethlehem, we're somewhere backstage here, and the goggles are back. I'm giving them a formal introduction. You know this guy, but hold on a minute.
That's my formal introduction?
No, we didn't even start yet. The goggles are back, Bay Area, New York City, Los Angeles, and Sweden. I'm not done yet, hold on. Candy, Electric Angels, Emperor's New Clothes, Dad's Porno Mag.
Tell me more.
I did say Electric Angels, right?
Oh, yes you did.
Gilby Clark, Slash's Snake Pit, Roxie 77, I'm not done yet, Casablanca, and TV, the Big Rock Show, All Access. And now back with the man behind the mask, Alice Cooper. Yes!
Who is this guy?
Cooper and his new outfit of married men and women. They're on the major tour with the Irons as in Iron Maiden, but they're somewhere lost in America tonight. But lucky for me, I got through to my old pal, Ryan Roxie.
Jacky BamBam, the man, the myth, the legend. How you doing?
How you been?
Well, I'm doing all right. I'm living the dream this summer, so I'm really looking forward to it. As you can tell, it's not anything that I've been drinking that's caused my throat to be this way. It's the darn, heat into air conditioning back into heat. So my throat's a little bit shot tonight, but thank goodness I am just the guitar player in this band, because we have someone whose voice, transcends all eras, all time, Mr. Alice Cooper. He's taken over the vocals on this set, so I don't have to worry. So I can just talk as much as you want until I start sounding like a bad version of Demi Moore. Maybe a hotter version, I'm not sure.
So Bon Jovi always sung, "You Can't Always Go Home." Back with Alice Cooper, how did this happen, and was there begging and pleading this time?
More conniving, and I think it was just the right time, and I think things in life always happen. They do happen for a reason, and if you put the good positive message out there, every once in a while, the good positive things come back, and more times than not they do, and that's kind of what I've been starting like last summer. I said, you know what, I'm really starting to ready to go back on a tour again. I was hanging out at a lot of festivals. I live in Sweden. There's a lot of rock festivals, a lot of popular ones. I made the decision. I said, you know what, next year I don't want to just be part of the festivals. I want to be in the festivals. I want to be on a tour in a big way. And Alice came into town. We did an interview for my TV show.
Yeah.
It was we struck up the conversation again, and you have to ask the question. I just said, hey Alice, if something ever comes up where you need a guitar player, you know who to call. And luckily he didn't call Ghostbusters, he called me. And here I am. And it really is one of those things where I put that positive message out over a year ago, and it happened now. So I live in it.
Lady Rock God is smiling down upon you, Ryan.
Man, you're taking all my lines now. What am I going to say next? I can't, Jacky. No, it is true, though. I mean, I'm very blessed to be able to still be doing what I love to do since I was a little kid. And for me, I do it as much to show my own two kids that, you know what, if you stick with something and you really keep driving at it and you're focused on it, you will get your shot. And luckily for me, I've had a few shots at this.
Can I ask you, do you know if you were the first choice, in Alice, was there any backups just in case?
I think, to be honest with you, I think there's a lot of people that would like to play guitar for Alice. I think there's a lot of people that covet the gig. Once you've been in the gig, you know what a cool organization and how the organization works. And I think it's one of those gigs where you say, of course I want Alice Cooper as my boss. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's a long list of guys that were vying for the gig. But as luck would have it, and fate, or whatever you want to call it, or just determination, here I am with two other great guitar players in this lineup. It's like Orianthi plays guitar, Tommy Hendrickson plays guitar, myself and Chuck Garrick on bass guitar. So 4 stringed instruments on this wild ride of 2012.
So you played, speaking of the members of the band, you played with Chuck before. Any of the other members before this?
Well, I know Tommy Hendrickson from the old New York days, and then in Los Angeles days when we played in our own struggling, pop, punk, rock bands, or whatever it was, bands that played the clubs and bashed out in the clubs. He was playing in a band called Parade of Losers. I was playing in one of my first solo bands called Dad's Porno Mag, which eventually became Roxie 77, which is still more or less my project of what I like to do. And
When you're not with Alice.
well, it's when my voice comes back and I get to actually front the band, and it's like I need that just as much as I need playing lead guitar. I need that forum sometimes to be up on stage and sort of talk my talk, you know. With Alice, if you've ever come to an Alice Cooper show, and hopefully a lot of you listeners probably have, and we thank you for it, but you know that Alice, as his character, doesn't speak. So our show is just bam, bam, bam. Pardon the expression, Jacky, but it is, you know, like song after song. And when I do Roxie 77, I like to, you know, talk and explain a little bit more and just, you know, basically get to know the audience before the show's over.
And I got to ask you this question. You just mentioned her, and I saw you call her Ori backstage. No one knows how to pronounce her name correctly. Can you tell us, Ryan?
Well, actually, I would, but I don't know the Greek alphabet. It's really, there's a bunch of college letters in there. I don't know. No, it's Orianthe.
Orianthe.
Yeah, but I think she responds to Ori. She likes the name Ori as well. And in this tour, she's been referred to as, because she makes herself all bloody and cut up and, you know, teases her hair out and everything. She likes to call herself Gorianthe or Scarianthe, one or the other. So I think any of those terms will, you know, maybe you just call her a kick-ass guitar player, because that's what she is.
I'll second that. And I got to ask you, how do you get a lead in between her and Tommy? 2-3 guitar army. How does it work?
Well, the thing was, before the tour started, we all met in Los Angeles. And we made a conscious effort to get these parts down so that none of us would be playing the same parts at any given time. Every once in a while you need the, you know, for power, you know, some people need to be playing the same thing. But to be honest with you, we really broke down the songs, and if you come to the show, you'll notice that each of us play a different part, and hopefully, you know, the sum is greater than its parts. And from what I've heard from a lot of people that come to the show, they say, man, it just sounds like one big driving force coming out of the guitar cabinets, and that's what we were going for. So yeah, I actually really like having the 3 guitar player lineup. It gives you a lot of chances to double things, or just make octaves of things, or harmonize things that you normally wouldn't in a 1 guitar, 2 guitar player band.
For the guitar players out there, can you tell us your rig? I know you start with the Flying V. I saw you with a 335 hollow body, and it sounds thick up there. What else do you use?
I'm a Gibson guy. I am a Gibson guy. I love Gibsons. I think they kind of provide everything that one needs to play rock and roll music, and other types of music, obviously. But I have a Gibson Les Paul 78 Sunburst, and I got it because my guitar hero Peter Frampton played one.
Cool. Just
like on the cover of, you know, on the cover of Frampton Comes Alive, is that Sunburst. And then I got a 335. It's kind of cool, hides my beer belly, which I'm trying to lose while I'm not on the road. But we're filming this, so I'm sucking it in. And also Flying V, like you mentioned. So I have those guitars to start. They're the initial ingredients to the sound. And then I plug into old school Marshall JCM 800 amps. I love my Marshalls. You know, to me, rock and roll is Gibson plugged through Marshall. But I also use some TC Electronics that provide the delays and choruses and stuff like that.
Okay.